where I feel at ease, where I actually can breathe slower, talk slower, think slower, walk slower, be more present. Everything about my life has elevated since I've moved here, and I am incredibly grateful, like big grateful, never a little one. Yeah, it's your girl Ariel Simone. Welcome back to another YouTube episode. Y'all, I am so excited. I'm so excited because we are in Mexico City, and this episode is all about how I moved to Mexico City. So I already talked about why, the purpose, my intentions, but I never really broke down how I did it, how much money you need, the cost of living, how to find a neighborhood, the amount of research that I did, what did I look out for, how did I learn Espanol, because your girl is learning Espanol, aprendiendo Espanol. I'm just so excited, but I just want to take a moment to just pause and appreciate the fact that I'm outside. I'm outside of my apartment. It's so much greenery. The weather in Mexico City is so beautiful right now. It is so beautiful. It's literally like 80 degrees, 80, 85 degrees. It's so nice. I can just be outside chilling. I'm listening to the birds. The birds, y'all, the birds. It's really the small things that get me so excited about living here. So I just want to say I've been to about 17 different countries, so I'm pretty well traveled, but Mexico City is one of the only cities I've ever experienced that really reminds me of New York. Yes, y'all, I said it. It reminds me so much of New York. I can't put my finger on it, but if I had to compare Mexico City, if I had to describe it, it would be Mexico meets Brooklyn meets LA meets Europe, Barcelona. I would say Barcelona. Yeah, I would kind of mix those 3-4 cities in because it's very, very green. It's very walkable. I knew that I wanted to live somewhere metropolitan where you could still walk around, but this was really walkable. The buses and the trains work just like New York City. Oh my God, my bad. I just got a very important phone call. I got one of those phone calls that make you smile. But what I was saying is Mexico City is just a mirage, a really blended city of tons of greens, tons of colors, beautiful architecture, so many dogs. This is such a dog-friendly city. So if you have a dog, your dog is going to consider this to be paradise. And people have so much respect for dogs, and they also have a lot of respect for people. So one of the main benefits of even living in Mexico City, I gotta be honest with y'all, it's very communal. People here, the Mexicans here, they really care about family. They care about friends, community, neighbors, vecinos. Yeah, vecinos. They really care about that, and I just find that to be just so welcoming and very, very beautiful. Only when I get on the internet, people kind of be we don't want you here, but when I meet people in person, they're so excited to talk to me. They're excited to get to know my name, my dog's name. I like to contribute to the community. I only shop very local. I only buy my groceries, my home necessities, my clothes are all very, very local. I feel like when you show up from that space of humility, humble, low, hey, I just want to be here with you. I just want to experience the city with you. I just want to get to know you. I'm here to help and contribute. They kind of respond to you very, very differently, very welcoming, very warm. They're always offering me food. They're always offering me warm tortillas, or they're oh, we have this, we have that. And it doesn't feel like I'm trying to get you to buy. It feels like I'm trying to put you onto my culture. I'm trying to show you what Mexicans do. Especially when I was first ordering chilaquiles, they was you're going to love chilaquiles. We're just going to do it so good for you. We're going to put the cheese on it, the cream on it. And it just, first off, it was really good. I don't really like cheese, but it was so, so good. But secondly, it just felt so welcoming. And it's hard to feel alone when you're in such a city that makes you feel so welcomed. So things like that. It's actually so many noises going on right now. I feel a little overstimulated. Okay, so a few things I want to talk about. How did I even move out here? So I'm coming from Brooklyn, New York, where you need to make about 40 times the rent. And out there, the average apartment for a brownstone and what I really wanted ranged between 25 and 3,500. So then if you just times that by 40, that's how much you need to make within the year. And I did not make that much. I don't even want to front or cap to y'all. I am an influencer, but I don't personally get paid that well yet. Soon come. No, but seriously, I don't get paid that much yet. So I had to be a little for real with myself. And it's also a little difficult trying to prove your income. So I just wanted to be a little honest around that. When I was first trying to move out, I knew for a fact that to just move anywhere in New York City from one building to the next, I knew that I was going to need about like $15,000 to $20,000. And then I ended up USD. And then I ended up landing a really, really amazing partnership with Yahoo. Thank you so much, Yahoo. At the end of last year, I partnered with Yahoo and did a gut health series where I was able to interview different experts and doctors around gut health. So that was really nice. And that also just got me into my TV production. I want to do more long form content kind of bag. And we've been here ever since. Okay, so at the end of my Yahoo deal, I'm going to be so honest with y'all. I ended up landing $30,000. And to me, that was like the biggest brand deal I've ever had ever. And I just was so grateful, so excited. And I knew from there, like, ooh, I can move. Now, it was really between Atlanta or Mexico City. But the more research I did around Mexico City, the weather is nicer. It's a walkable city. So that's what really drove me here. The fact that it's a walkable city, the bus and the trains work just fine. I can walk anywhere. And I just love that in the city. So my main three things in the city was walkability, affordability, and weather. All those three things was going to help me build a beautiful life for myself, but also for my dog. And that was really important for me as well. Okay, so back to money. I had $30,000, but I would recommend you to come out here with just 15 because prior to me coming here, I had to pay so many things. I had to pay for my car. I had to pay for travel. I had to pay for my dog to be able to get the shots and everything that he needed to board the plane to enter Mexico. I had to spend so much money. So ultimately what I had in my savings when I came here was, well, what I had in my check-ins account when I came here was $15,000 and it's gotten me all the way up until now. So I moved here in January. It's now November and I still have more left. So I would say like if you come out here with $15,000, it can last you about a year or two. So I want to talk about the cost of living as well, right? So I personally live in a very quote unquote expensive. I don't love the word expensive because it's very subjective. Like what's expensive to somebody might not be expensive to somebody else. But according to Mexico and a lot of my local friends, they let me know that I live in a very expensive building, an expensive complex. And when I say expensive, it's about 26,000 pesos, which averages out, when I first moved here, it averaged out to be like $1,500. And now with the dollar being a little bit stronger, it is about $1,300. So $1,300 a month for a 2-bed, 2-bath, 3 floors and a private roof. It's beautiful. This is a whole beautiful green area. It is so nice. But I know that there's so many people that pay between like 5,000 pesos all the way up into like 15,000 pesos. So that's between like $200 to like $800. Usually is what a lot of my local Mexican friends pay, is between like $200 to $800. But all of my expat friends, all of my friends from America, we usually pay between like $1,000 and $1,500 for an apartment. So a month. So I just want to be honest and transparent about that your rent, if you don't speak Spanish as well, is probably going to be between like $1,000 and $2,000. It depends on how you live in. It depends on what neighborhood you're living in. It depends on a few factors, but I personally really wanted to live in Santa Maria la Ribera, which is so local, real urban. I wanted to live in this city because I really wanted to have the Mexico City experience, but also I want to learn Espanol. I want to speak with my neighbors. I want to get to know them. I want to contribute to the community. So that's why that was important to me. There are other very, very beautiful areas like La Condesa or Roma Norte, Roma Sur, Escondón, and Polanco. Like those neighborhoods are really beautiful and like upscale a bit, but there's a ton of expats. You feel yourself like pushing people out the community a little bit. And it's just a lot of restaurants. It's a lot of action. It's where the museums, the galleries, the events, the bars are. And I kind of wanted to live a little bit more residential with the community and go to the party and then come home. You know what I mean? So I see the pros to living in those areas, but I wasn't feeling comfortable with being around mostly tourists, and it just wasn't feeling right. It wasn't feeling right. But I go there now for like my dentist, my Pilates studio is over there. So part of me is like, maybe I should live closer to there, but I love this neighborhood. I love my building. But yes, I would say that you need about $15,000 here, averaging about like $1,000 to $2,000 on rent. Now, as far as food goes, I spend maybe like between $50 and $80 at the grocery market every week. But that's because I eat a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, a lot of meats, and my dog eats a lot of meat. So for me and my dog, it's about, I want to say I spend about maybe $300 to $400 just on food. And that's me cooking out maybe 4 or 5 times a week and then also eating out. That brings me to the restaurants. In this neighborhood in Santa Maria La Ribera, a lot of the restaurants range between like $3 and $15 USD, around there. Like my favorite ramen spot, my favorite pizza spot, my favorite taco spot, like it usually ranges between $3 and $15. But in Roma Norte, Roma Sur, Escondon, all the places I was mentioning before, Polanco, you sit down in a restaurant, you're paying a minimum of like $20 to maybe even $100, including drinks. It gets a lot more expensive. But I don't drink like that, but it gets a lot more expensive. So that's another reason why I really wanted to live in this area, is because it is just a little bit more locale, more urban. So that was like my kind of vibe that I was going for. And I absolutely love the mercado. It's so easy to go grocery shopping. I'm going to show you the market. It's starting to close, but hola. This is where I get all my flowers. Quick intermission. Hola, hola. This is where I get most of my fruits and veggies. That's Saira. Hola, Saira. ¿Cómo está hoy? Okay. Her mom always works here, so that's a vibe. I came in here for eggs, though. Huevos. Hola, amigo. He's always like dancing and stuff. Oh, lo siento. Pardon. Okay, this is like one of my favorite juice bars. It's so nice. It's actually pretty quiet in here. I think it's because it's about to close. This is also where I get all my fruits and veggies. This market is such a vibe. This is where I get all my fish from. All my fish. Is that my friend? Hola, Edgar. ¿Cómo está? Muy bien, gracias, buen día. That's my friend, y'all. That's my friend. I don't want to put everybody on camera, but I just came here I want to buy some eggs. Okay, y'all, we secured the eggs. Yes. I'm going to show you some other stuff. There's restaurants. This is closing down, so it's definitely not as busy. Hola. You got restaurants. Hola. Hola, ¿cómo está? Buenas tardes. Hola, ¿cómo está? Muy bien, ¿qué tal? Gracias. Oh, they really treat me so sweet here. They really do. They always like say hi to me and my dog, so it's not just me. But yeah, y'all, all right, I'm about to leave the market. This was all it is for now. Tune back into the video. I mostly know a lot of fruits and vegetables in Espanol, and they love that I'm trying. And that's one thing that I could say about Mexico is like, if you pull up and you're trying to learn the language, you're trying to speak the language, and you're trying to get to know them, they are so forgiving and kind. So highly recommend coming over here, learning the language, practicing consistently is going to make such a huge difference in your overall experience. I would say that's how much I spend on groceries a week, as well as eating out. And as far as home things go, like toilet paper, paper towels, that usually ranges between like $20 to $30 a month. It's not too expensive, but I will say what is expensive out here is so bizarre, but like forks are expensive, cups, plates, spoons, shower curtains, little dispensers for your soap. Things like that is just really expensive here. And I get it because it's imported, but especially on Amazon. Like my soap dispenser on Amazon was $45. $45. In Walmart, it was like $30. Whereas I know in America it's maybe $8 max, $8 to $10 max. So I will say like certain things like that, like a shower curtain or just certain things that you might need for your home, tends to get a little pricier. But I ended up buying this like really cute bathroom rack in my bathroom. I ended up buying it from the corner. They were just selling it on the corner, like a ton of like beautiful wood things for your home. So I bought that on the corner for maybe like $60, whereas online it would have been a calm 100, 150, $200. So I was very grateful for that. And I flexed my Espanol. We was talking for a little minute. So I know when she comes, I know her name, I know her child's name. It's like a little moment. Like, it's real communal out here when I tell y'all. It's like really communal. So I would say $15,000 is going to help you with stay, rent, and a lot of the times rent doesn't include maintenance, but maintenance is water, gas, electricity, and that's it. And that usually amounts to, all three together usually amounts to like $30 to $40 a month. And then my Wi-Fi is about $40 a month. So altogether, I think I spend like a total of between $1,800 and $2,000 a month to live out here. And then I want to just take it up a notch further because I do have a dental plan out here. I got braces out here, y'all. Yay! I got braces. I'm so excited. They come off in February. So real soon, real soon. Okay, real soon, real soon. I'm hyped. I'm hyped. Did I mention I was hyped? I'm just so excited because I'm ready to get these braces off. I'm ready for them to be off. But my braces, they range between $30 to $50 a month to get them tightened, to get them cleaned, all of that. To get the braces on was $480 USD. So yeah, it was about that much. And I've been paying every single month between the $30 and $50. One time it was like $55, and recently it was $60 because I got additional screws placed in so they could start lifting my teeth up. Implants out here range between I want to say like $700 to $900. My dental work kind of adds up the bill for me. And then also I go to Hot Pilates, which adds up the bill for me. My Hot Pilates studio for unlimited classes every single month is $150 USD. And then what else do I usually spend my money on? The bikes out here are free. As long as you're riding the bikes for less than 45 minutes, they are free. And I had to pay for a 1-year membership, which came up to $33. No, it was $28. It was $28 for the 1-year membership on the bike. And then the buses and the trains, they range between 30 and 40 cents one way. Oh, dog care. So my dog's food is pretty expensive. To me, it's expensive because he's allergic to chicken. So his food ranges between like $80 to $100. And then we have a dog walker, and the dog walker is about $20 a week. And then my housekeeper, she's included into my rent, which is really, really nice. She's included into my rent, and I like to tip her anyway. So that ranges between like 20 to 30 USD dollars. So I would say on average for me, with always working out, always commuting, sometimes eating out, sometimes not, I would say that I spend about 2,000 USD, between 2,000 and 2,300 USD. Hi, y'all.
Hey.
Hi. I'm recording a YouTube video.
Oh my god, you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. I like.
Oh, yes, you will?
Yeah.
It's called Ariel Simone.
Ariel Simone.
Yeah, Ariel Simone. Yeah, I'm a holistic nutritionist. I talk about eating well and just eating to live and eating for energy. But right now, I like to read on YouTube and talk to people about how I moved to Mexico.
Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah.
Are you on TikTok?
I am on TikTok.
I'm obsessed with TikTok.
I'm obsessed with TikTok. I'm on TikTok. On TikTok, no, it's Holistic Mommy.
Holistic Mommy.
It's Holistic Mommy. If you type it in, you're gonna see me. I talk a lot.
Alright, I'm gonna scroll.
Okay, nice to meet you. Enjoy your day. Oh yeah, that was the neighbors. Okay, so we're talking about cost of living. I want to say that I spend between like $2,000 and $2,500 a month, which I'm very grateful for, because in Brooklyn, my rent alone was $2,500 a month, and I wasn't including my car, my utilities, my food, nada. I'm very, very grateful. I recognize that I am very privileged to be here. I recognize that I need to always step into every space with a immense amount of humility and just being very, very humble and very caring and very gentle, and just recognize the role that I play. Absolutely. Like, I just want to take some accountability around that. And I'm just really, honestly, just very grateful to be here. I'm very, very grateful. It's a lot going on in America right now. It's a lot going on. I haven't felt safe there in years. Things are super, super expensive. I'm extremely stressed out all of the time. My central nervous system is always overstimulated. This is the first time in my life where I feel like I am so fulfilled and so happy. And I also want to say that this is the first time where I feel at ease, where I actually can breathe slower, talk slower, think slower, walk slower, be more present. It's something about consistently being in great weather, consistently being around greens that it heightens my mood. It shows up and it comes into my life and it allows me to heighten my performance and how I show up on camera and how I love on my animal and how I love on myself. Everything about my life has elevated since I've moved here, and I am incredibly grateful, like big grateful, never a little one, because it really just made a huge difference. And I think that when you live this life of ease and fulfillment and joy and happiness and intention and care and loving kindness with yourself and with your life and with your body, it changes your idea of success. It really does. Like, I feel like when I was in New York, my success was always recording, always on the go, having a nice car, showing everybody how I'm living, how I'm getting money, how much money I'm getting. Like, that was my idea of success. Like, dressing up, looking cute, showing everybody what I got and how I'm doing, how I'm living. And out here, it's really much like impressing yourself, taking your time with your time, a slow morning routine, a quiet morning routine, being able to just be and exist. I'm realizing like that's the real luxury in life right now. Having community, intentional community that feels good and that is in alignment with who I'm becoming. My friends, they teach me new things. They inspire me. I feel lifted. I feel elevated. There's a certain type of person that moves abroad, and I've been meeting those type of people who understand my language, people who are culturally appropriate as well. But then I'm also making friends with a ton of locals, and it's just been like a blend of such beautiful experiences, very fulfilling experiences. And that's another thing I want to talk about in a different video, how to build community when you move abroad, because that's kind of loaded too, because I've made some amazing friends. And then I've also met people that reminded me on what my core values are and how to stick to boundaries around new community. So yes, y'all, yes. I'm very grateful for everything that's been happening here. Okay, so I want to talk about a few different areas that I think you should consider when moving here. When it comes to a city, think about how you want to feel. For me, I was saying before, what was most important to me was the walkability, the affordability, and then also the weather. So out here, we do experience rainy season for about 3 to 4 months, and it literally rains all day. Granted, it's a little tropical, but it's also a little cold, but it rains all day. And I want to say it rains between middle of July all the way until September. So it is very, very rainy. This was my first time experiencing rainy season, and I made up my mind that I will definitely be traveling for rainy season. Absolutely. Because it's just sad. And then also September here is like a really big earthquake month. We unfortunately didn't get to experience that. I've never experienced an earthquake in my life. Like, anytime New York ever had an earthquake, I was somewhere else. I was in either Costa Rica or Ecuador or Mexico. I just was always somewhere else coincidentally, but I'm absolutely terrified of an earthquake. I have a whole earthquake kit. I am just terrified of it, but I am prepared. So we'll see when that happens, if it ever happens. But yes, September is a month for earthquakes. I will say the best time to visit Mexico City, period, is February. I want to say it's February all the way up until June. The weather is amazing. It's very, very mild. It never gets too hot and it never gets too cold. So it really ranges between like 68 degrees all the way to 88 degrees. So real más o menos, real así. Like, it's real like in between, and I love that. At night, in the mornings, it's kind of cold, so you need a jacket or a sweater, but in the day, you don't. Also, I want to say something about the weather is right now, it's a great time to be here. Right now, it's November. So I would say between November and December, it's a great place. I moved here in January and the weather was a little cold to me, but once like March, April hit, it started heating up crazy, and it was just a great feeling. I personally love the heat real bad. Okay, so that's all about the weather, but the best time to come here, period, is definitely February for Art Week. Y'all, I know about Art Week. I did not know about Mexico City Art Week. Nobody told me until I pulled up. But Art Week is literally like Art Basel in Miami meets Fashion Week in New York. Like, everyone got that shit on. Everybody is dressed to a T. Everybody looks cute. So many New Yorkers and people from California and the South come here for Art Week too. So it's like everybody knew about this but me. And I met the most amount of like Black people and diverse people and like the real cool, edgy type, swaggy people when in February. So I would say highly recommend coming to Mexico City in February. It is the first week of February. It's actually all of February month, but it's mostly the first week of February and the second week. But you can come anytime. All the museums and the galleries are all free. Restaurant culture goes up. Bar culture goes up. It gets beautiful. It's crowded. Another great time to come here is for Dia de los Muertos. I hope I said that right. And it's a huge moment out here. They really take a lot of urgency and care and pride into honoring the dead and our ancestors. So that is a big thing here. Just energetically and spiritually, you can just feel how grounded the energy and the vibe here is. Like it gets very tuning in, reflective, introspective, paying respects. So I would say that's another great time to come here as well. Okay, so I was talking about the areas that are great to live here if you are an expat. If you don't speak that much Spanish, but just a little bit, I think the best areas are La Condesa, Roma Norte, Roma Sur, Escondón, Reforma, Palanco. I think those areas are really beautiful for you to live in. You can learn Spanish. I absolutely highly recommend learning Spanish when moving here. I've been doing the program Pimsleur, and I also have a tutor on amazingtutor.com, and our tutor lessons range between like $8 to $12 for an hour. I absolutely love Amazing Tutor. I actually did a homestay in Ecuador and they put me onto Amazing Tutor. So that's how I learned about that. And also Pimsleur is a great program. It's all about adult learning. So as we get older, our best way to learn a new language is through listening. Because at first I always thought I needed to memorize words. I was like, oh, I know a lot of words in Spanish. I gotta memorize them. But it's really about putting things into a sentence, being able to conjugate, knowing how to hold a conversation in restaurants and in Uber, in the Mercado, things like that. So that's what Pimsleur helped me do, like learning how to train my ear to understand what they're saying. That was the game changer for me. It wasn't memorization. It wasn't Duolingo. It wasn't repeating the same words over and over. It was being able to train my ear to understand different accents, different tones, different speeds of talking, things like that. Because if you think about it in America, like your California accent is very different than your Atlanta accent. Your Atlanta accent is very different than the New York accent. So I recognize like, I gotta like learn how to train my ear to be able to understand different forms of accents, tones, and speeds. So yes, highly recommend Pimsleur. Pimsleur, sponsor your girl. Talk to me nice. Love you, Pimsleur. Yes, y'all really helped me out with learning how to adapt to so many different changes and transition into living into a new country. Also, I just want to mention that the rent is a lot more expensive in those neighborhoods. But if you do speak Spanish and you want to have a more local, a more urban, a more like, I would say, natural and real type of experience with Mexico, in Mexico City, I would say the best areas are San Rafael. I lived there when I first moved there. It's a lot of older people. I love being around older people. They are so wise. They are so talkative. They are so kind and helpful and caring. So a lot of my friends when I first moved out here were all 65 plus. They were just so gentle and caring with me. So highly recommend San Rafael, especially if you have a dog. San Rafael is that girl. Then I also would recommend Santa Maria la Ribera. She's a little far out. Like a Uber is a little bit more expensive. Oh, I forgot to talk about Ubers. So Ubers out here range between $2 and $10. I've never spent over $10 on an Uber unless I was going to the airport and the airport was like $12 to $15. But to get anywhere in the city is between like $2 to $10. But that starts to add up per ride. So I just like to take the bus, and the bus is just a lot easier for me, and the trains and riding the bikes. Oh my God, I want to talk about all the amazing things you can do and all the things that I do. So I love to do hot yoga. I love to go to cafes. Lately, I've been trying to be more of a tourist, and a lot of things are free here. So I'm very grateful for that. So that's not something you might have to like necessarily save for, but in the budget, I would consider transportation and food for the day. Oh, and water. You do need to always drink bottled water out here, and I guess that can get a little pricey. The bottled water ranges between between like 80 cents to like $2 to $3. So I drink about a little less than a gallon a day. So I spend about $10 a week on water. I forgot to mention that. My bad, y'all. My bad. But that's the things I like to do out here. I also recently, I haven't been too much of a tourist. I've only been to Teotihuacan, the pyramids, and the hot air balloon. And then I've also only been to, yeah, I don't think I've been to that many places, but I do want to go to Grutas. That's like that water slide hike fall moment. Yes, I want to do a lot more things, but that's going to be a separate vlog. But yeah, y'all, I would say that I spend about $2,000 a month here, between $2,000 and $2,500, and I live pretty well. I eat a lot. I eat very colorful. The quality of the food here is through the roof. The fruit actually tastes like real fruit. It's so juicy and so fresh and so sweet. Love the fruit here real bad. Like the fruit is so good. I also love the meat. My dog loves the meat out here. We love the meat. We love the vegetables. So I think that's another thing too, as to why my central nervous system and my gut health is so much better, because the quality of the food is actually real. It's loaded with nutrients and tons of vitamins and just the essentials that I need to think bright and feel lighter. So I will say the quality of life here has elevated my life. I feel the best I've ever felt in my life. Ever. And so many things are just changing for me. I'm going through so many different transitions, and I just highly recommend it. One of my ex-clients, we ended up really working on her gut health. She was a therapist for people who are about to transition. One thing that she said that really changed the game for me was she said that a lot of her therapy sessions, most people, when they are about to transition, they think about the relationships that they've had. They think about the things that they never said or never done. They never think about the work they should have did. They never thought about the work they should have did. Like they, on our last days, we're not thinking about, wow, I should have changed that Instagram caption, or I should have posted at this time instead for better engagement, or, oh, I should have responded to that comment and just did this type of caption. No, it's very much giving. How can I eat? What parts of the world can I see? And who can I live and laugh and love right now? It really comes down to community and relationships and our friends and the people that just make our life more rich. And when I start thinking about that, and Mexico City has really changed the game for me in thinking about what's important to me, what is fulfillment, what is joy, what is healing, what is intention. And when I get clear on that, it is community. It is the people dumb. It's my family. It's the people that make me laugh and inspire me and just make life worth living. They make life worth living. I kind of went in, but yes. Oh, last thing I want to talk about is the visas. So when you come to Mexico, you can be on a tourist visa, which lasts about 6 months. But I will recommend that you apply for a temporary residency visa. You can do that in the States. But if you don't do it in the States and you decide to move here instead, you can do it after 6 months of living here, but you have to do it right away. That costs between $1,000 and $1,500 USD, but it allows you to live here for up to 4 years without any issues. So I highly recommend that. And that's going to just make a huge difference in you staying here and just being able to be here on the right accord. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I will say when it comes to moving abroad, things can get a little lonely. So that's also why intentional community is important. But I will say that even though I'm alone, I never really feel alone. You know what I mean? Like I'm never really by myself. I feel like I'm with myself and I'm with my dog. And it's just something about getting to know myself in this season. I'm learning a new language. I'm building community, which brings me to my work. And now my work is a lot more fulfilling because I've been hosting these bi-weekly wellness workshops where we talk about gut health, plant-based eating, eating for energy, emotional eating. We really unpack why we eat the way we eat, where it comes from, and how to change that. I absolutely love my community. I'm about to drop a Patreon. So a lot of people tend to ask what I do for work. So I am a holistic nutritionist. I teach people how to eat for energy and how to have a joyful relationship with food. We don't want a resentful relationship with food, and we don't want a resentful relationship with our bodies. We want want to feel inspired and lifted and aroused and excited and fulfilled when we eat. We want to eat things and get more energy, not eat things and need a nap. So I teach people how to food shop, how to live in a way that supports being more energetic and more vibrant and stepping more into your healthiest self. So I have a lot of ebooks centered around those topics. So that's how I make my income. I also host these workshops, YouTube, soon come, and now the Patreon. So that's how I make my money. So if you guys want to support or you absolutely love this video, send it to a friend, check out the Patreon, check out my website, check out my ebook resources, check it all out and support the kid. I absolutely appreciate it all. Always big gratitude, never a little one. And y'all, I'm going to wrap up this episode now. Tell me what you think in the comments. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Go tell a friend to tell a friend. Please comment because I like to talk back to y'all. Y'all already know I like to talk back. And last but not least, if you or anybody you know needs support around what to eat, a customized meal plan, how to go food shopping, how to store your produce when you do get it home, please reach out to me. I am hosting one-on-one nutrition consultations. My books are open. So please, if you or anybody else needs any support around how to eat and what to eat, I will help you around that. I am a licensed holistic nutritionist and we can help you get to your health and wellness goals that is in alignment with your current lifestyle, your current work schedule, your current movement schedules, your energy levels, all good things, y'all. So yes, this is the end of this episode. Thank you for watching. Big, big, big love. Not the little one. Not the little one. Thank you, guys.
Cause you can never kill my vibe. But there is no